Matrix Online begins almost immediately after Matrix Revolutions. You have just been released from the pods, and you've been rescued by Zion, but at the same time, the Matrix is in a state of flux.
The Wachowskis gave us a theme, and for the theme of the first year of the game, they said, peace and the things people do to wreck it.
The brothers had a very explicit image for the game. They wanted to give the Matrix to the fans. They wanted the fans to be able to participate directly in the Matrix saga.
They've set a big overarching story that takes advantage of the medium, that gives people the flexibility to play within the bounds of a linear story and still have an impact on where the story goes.
There will be challenges and sometimes global crises that affect the whole Matrix that have to be resolved. And that's how the players affect the outcome of the story. Things will not happen on schedule. The players determine the schedule.
As a new player, you've just been released from the pods, and you've opened your eyes to this world that is strange and threatening.
The feeling of the Matrix now is like post-war Berlin. The big conflict is over, but there are a lot of people of different moral character running around in the barely controlled chaos that's left afterwards.
We don't tell players what to do immediately. We don't tell them who's the good guy and who's the bad guy. It's very explicitly a choice, and it's up to individual players to decide who do they want to throw their loyalties with, who do they feel the most sympathy for, which side is going to reward them the most.
People like Persephone, people like the Merovingian, like Sadie, like the Oracle, they're all in the game, and we don't guarantee their safety. And this is a critical thing. Like, these are living characters who may or may not do well in the piece.
We're not good guys and bad guys at this point. We're players in a drama that is yet to unfold and yet to reveal what's the right choice.
Organizations represent the really big political sort of power groups in the Matrix. And at the start of the game, those consist of course, Zion, the Machines, and then the Merovingian, who is a powerful exile within the Matrix. Zion, of course, wants freedom for humanity. They want to be able to be masters of their own destiny. And of course, at this time, there is a truce, but it's very clear that the Machines had the upper hand, and so it's a very uncomfortable position for them to be in. They need to secure their own safety in a world that is potentially hostile to them in general. They still have very little defenses, and so they need to ensure their survivability if this truce does, for some reason, break down.
The Machines can say to you, in all seriousness, don't listen to Zion. Work for us. We need to keep people in the body pods. As long as there's enough energy inside the system, the Machines can survive, the humans can survive, the peace can survive. If you keep taking people out, bad things are gonna happen. Really bad things. End of humanity bad things.
For the Merovingian, he is essentially stuck in the Matrix. He's left the machine civilization, and his entire being resides in the Matrix. So for him, the continuation of the Matrix is absolutely essential, and he will do whatever it takes to make sure that his domain, as it were, is preserved.
All three factions have very compelling arguments for why you should work for them, and you have to decide which of those ways of viewing the world do you believe in.
In the Matrix, you can be really whoever you want to be. You are your idealized self. You are perfect in every way, really. So as a new player creating a character, you have literally millions of options for your appearance, both physical appearance, the color of your hair and your skin, the shape of your face, right down to, which shoes you're wearing.
But one of the things that we're emphasizing with character creation is it's not just the first experience, it's growing your character over time so that you pick up better and cooler clothes as you play the game. You acquire new abilities that you're not locked into a single tree, but you can day to day change what your focus is, so that one day you might be focused on being a gun master, another day you might be focused on being a stealth assassin. So character creation is just the tiny seed, and we're growing a massive tree of opportunity for players to take advantage of.
Because of the vastness of the city and the different neighborhoods and the characters hanging out there, you might want to just wander around a bit and ask questions.
There are activities that you can do just by running around the environment and finding things that, are hidden in the world, finding individuals that, you might have not had access to otherwise, but suddenly here's this person asking for your help.
We went to great efforts to make it feel real. So there's a true day-night cycle. When night comes, the world changes. The people you see in the world are different. The lights come on, the street lights come on, the car lights come on. It really feels like, as you're suddenly walking down a street with big neon signs and a whole new set of pedestrians, that in fact it's a real city with real nightlife.
The megacity is infinite.
And it has that kind of density and space and scope that is really unseen in any other MMO out there.
One of the main mechanisms that players have to participate in the story is through what we call dynamic storytelling missions.
Zion initially is sending you on some very simple tasks to identify what maybe the machines and the Merovingian are up to.
Whether it be something as simple as performing a courier to as complex as surveillance or assassinations.
Pretty quickly, those other organizations are noticing, hey, you're a performer, you're making your way in the world, you're rising up. Why are you working for them? They don't have the best deal, and maybe they're not even the best thing for humanity.
You'll have lots of people who are trying to recruit you.
You'll be offered advanced powers and tools when you go on missions for different factions.
There's double crosses, there's surprises, there's people working against you. And so what could look to your organization as a simple courier mission could turn out to be a trap set intentionally to try to assassinate you. There's a lot of secret clues, there's a lot of backstabbing going on. You've got to stay on your toes and watch your back.
We had to develop an entirely new way of depicting combat in a massively multiplayer game.
We felt it was imperative not just to capture the wire food, the sensational moves, but also to capture the smaller moves, the punch styles, the foot positions, the kick positions. It is, in fact, Kung Fu, karate, and Aikido. Those are the main styles.
So each and every moment of combat is depicted in as realistic a way as possible. Bullet time is the visual reward when you've been in this incredible drawn-out battle with an opponent and you land the killing blow on that opponent. You may pop into bullet time and see that last kick sweep across your opponent's face. It's a way for you to realize that, hey, I'm doing something really cool and special and the game is recognizing me for it.
We want the fans to be able to take the Matrix and live in the Matrix and drive the future of the Matrix. You will be playing this game, you'll be addicted. You'll have to warn your friends and families that you may not be in contact with them for some time. You could be a very special person. Whether or not you're the one is very open to debate.